No notes at all. Okay, so I guess we can take some time behind this too. Right, so this is, what do we want to, I guess I need to like define the categories first, right? Should I put some music on as well? Let's put on some music. Put on some music behind it. Or maybe, yeah. Where's my lo-fi stuff? Go region by region. We can do that. Maybe. Very loud. Okay, let's get to it then, shall we? Do I do it alphabetically or do I do it by region? Maybe I do it by region. Let's do. Oh, Weibo's it. Why the hell is Weibo here? Why are you here? Why are you here? I mean, at a row below. Immediately. That's the easy one. Oh, that's really loud. What the hell? Why are you so loud? Cool. Yeah, we can go through LPL. Let's do finalists. Let's do contenders. Dark horses. Struggle. And happy to be here. That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. There we go. That works. Okay, with that in mind. Red and Casey. Wait, are Red not even there? Of course they're not. Yeah, Red aren't even there. Casey aren't there either. I mean, you're not even at the you're not even at the event. You're not even at the event, so you know I can't. I literally cannot rate you anything else. Like, what can I even do there? You know. Okay, let's go region by region. Let's start with LPL because that's my strongest standing point, right? But actually, do I need to hang on one sec? I think I gotta what is this? I gotta make this a little bit smaller so I can actually like see all of the categories at once. Cool, that works. Okay. BLG are either contenders, maybe finalists. What do I think of the level of... What do I think of the level of junglers at the event? Will they be able to punish it? I don't know if I can in good faith put BLG as finalists. Onivia YouTube gang, I greatly enjoyed the ASAP banner. Thank you, Azod. You're very kind, Azote. Looking forward to the rest of the world's co-stream? Yeah, absolutely, same too. I think I have to put BLG in contenders. I don't think I can put them in finalists. I think that top esports have to be... I mean, Do I view them as international top esports or not? Because every time I try and believe in top esports, they fail me. Every single time. Please explain why. Yes, sorry, yes, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, there we go. Why are BLG and contenders and not in finalists? Because people will say BLG are their LPL champions. They were well finalists last year. Why is BLG and contenders not in finalists? BLG have scraped through a lot of this year. They have scraped through a lot of this year. And the things which are really worrying me is the way that BLG lose. When BLG lose, it is a mess. BLG win games through snowballing through lanes, typically having high mobility drafts, which allow them to make flashy outplays in skirmishes when you don't expect them to have as much damage as they do. Particularly when Bin is on form and Knight is on form, and Knight has been on form, has been on decent form, I suppose. Even then, he's not at peak, he's been caught out a lot in side lanes. This BLG is worse than last year. This BLG is worse than last year. They've had a rotating jungle situation, and that has stopped there being as much chemistry between the team, particularly around objectives late game. BLG can still have chemistry early game. You see them have great laning phases, great skirmishes, snowball into oblivion. That falls down when the game starts to slow down, and when like they have to play around late game objectives. This is why BLG for a lot of this year stood for bad late game. They've been consistently bad around Atakan, Baron, Dragon Soul fights, Elder Dragon. They've lost games which they should have won. Now, that did tighten up a little bit in playoffs. They are still good. They are good enough through laning phase and through snowballing and skirmishing to completely wipe even some of the best teams in the world. I think that they have the skirmishing brawn and the laning brawn to take games off any team in the world. Any team in the world. And yeah, BLG, they are a team which I think you still have to respect. They have a cheat code named Knight. They do, but even then, Knight is one of my very favorite players in the world. He might even be my favorite player in the world. However, he has been caught out in side lanes a lot. There were times where I think it was against Invictus Gaming. Was it game 1 or 2 when he was playing the Aurora? He got super fed, had a 1,000 gold shutdown, and gave it to Gala on a Sivir. He scaled into Oblivion, and they lost the game. That's when they swap back to Shadow, they get their chemistry back. Well, that's not true either, necessarily. I think that actually they have the same issues with both junglers. So when they have Beitran or Shadow and they're changing between them, what often happens is they get blasted one game because actually they don't have a good early game read. They have lost round objectives. I mean, we thought it was, it's just a Beitran problem. They sub in Shadow. It looks good for the first part of the season. At the end of the season, of the regular season, they start to fall off again. Shadow had some awful games on stuff like Nocturne and Trundle towards the end of the season, even though they were good for him earlier. So honestly, BLG have the same issues with both junglers. Now, what it does allow them to do when they have two junglers is, even though individually Shadow and Beitran are not top tier junglers, they get to sit, watch the games, and much like Blank and Bangy back in Season 6, they could download the enemy opponent and still get to punch up a little bit and have a good early game plan. BLG, out of the teams here at the tournament for the LPL, have the worst junglers. I think that Wei can sometimes fall apart too, don't get me wrong, but I think that, can I link the tier list? I will do that afterwards, yeah, I'll link that afterwards, don't worry. So yeah, BLG for me, I can't in good conscience put them in finalists unless maybe we'll reassess when we put more stuff in, because we're putting one region in here now, and then as we get more regions, we might have to jig things around. Because I also think that there are some problems with some of the top LCK teams, and maybe that allows BLG to go up a tier or something like that. We'll see. So yeah, that is why I can't really in good faith put BLG as finalists. I think that that is way too severe. Damn, as in way as in the jungler. That's very clever, Xera. That's very clever. Appreciate it. But yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna take my chat, put it over here. That makes it much easier for me to see. Can I pin this to be on the top? No, I can't. It's really annoying. Put it over here then. It's fine. That's actually not helpful at all. Why can't I just pin this? Whatever. So I was trying to find a way to put chat on my other screen, but I can't do that without it going behind this, and I can't pin it to the top, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so that's my overarching thoughts on BLG. Do I spend that much time on every team? Look, this team is still good. I think that if On is playing well, by the way, if On is playing well, maybe they can smash bot lane. Their macro looks so much better when they win bot lane. That was one of the things which was kind of messy. You good there? No capture? Oh, wrong thing. Did I just click that? What happened there? That one? There we go. Good stuff, cool. My bad. Okay, yeah. The heck's happened there? Why is that gone? Huh? Let me just, hang on, one second. There we go. Sorry, I just want to see if my cursor would get captured. I just realized I had the same thing on my OBS twice. So yeah, BLG, I think they're worse off than last year, but I do think they're contenders. They must be contenders. I think Elk and On have actually grown very, very well throughout this tournament, particularly towards that, particularly towards finals. It is worth noting they went 5 games against top esports, and even in the upper bracket, was it 3-1 or something like that? I think that the big thing which top esports have over BLG is BLG are very much on one side. They are the vibes team. I think that out of our LPL teams, we have IG and BLG are complete vibes. And I think that we have top esports, which are much more methodical. And I think that they're a team which are more likely to play the LCK style of macro. As in, look, BLG are pretty bad at sitting in an area of the map, denying vision, and then taking an objective with the terrain in their control, particularly when they're ahead. Top esports do that to a T. They're very, very good at that. Top esports, I also think, have probably the best early games outside of BLG in the LPL. And I think a lot of that is because Kanavi is such a good individual jungler. This is all regionally, though. This is all regionally. And I can talk all day about how top esports, I think that Kanavi is perhaps the best player in the LPL on his day. That guy is absolutely fucking fantastic. I think that 369's had a great year again. I think, yes, he's a little bit behind Bin in terms of individual laning, but 369's team fighting has been awesome. I think Cream has been fine. I think he's actually been fine. I think he's probably been second best mid in LPL playoffs, because Shanks took a step down. He was still worse than Knight, but I think that he held his own in a way that he didn't always do in the past. I think that Hung has been fantastic for this team. As a support change, I didn't expect anything from that. That's actually been much better than I thought. Yeah, I think that... So realistically, regionally, it would be like this. But then you have to take into account, well, Jaculov hasn't been playing well internationally recently. Cream can get bodied by some of the top tier things. I can't drop them down to struggle. They would have to be minimum dark horses. Am I bold enough to say top esports are in contenders? How much do I buy into the international curse? Oh god, I can't fall for it again. I can't fall for it again. I can't put them here, surely. But Kanavi's so good. And Jaculov and Hung are really good in lane. I can't fall for it again. I can't. I can't fall for it again. Based on region, it's this. Based on curses, it's this. Maybe even this. But Kanavi is so good. Hung has been very good for this team as well. I feel like there should be a tier between Dark Horse and Contenders, maybe. I feel like this... I feel like... What would you name that? What would you name that tier, then? If it was between Contenders and Dark Horses. Give them their own tier called Top... Wait, you know what? That's actually a really good idea. That's actually a really good idea. Wait, let's go TS. Top esports. Wait, can I duplicate this? I don't think I can. I don't think I can duplicate this. Can I? Can I add an image? Can I add an image? I don't know if I can. What do I do with that then? I can't. Okay, whatever. I'll just do top esports. Plus minus 1. No, plus 1 minus 2. I'll do a plus 1 minus 2. That is like... So they can be contenders, they can be struggle. Yeah, okay. I think that top esports can be contenders, but they can be struggle. I'm just going to have to put it like that, folks. They can be contenders, they can be down in struggle if they really, really fall off. Dark Horse to win the tournament because I don't believe they can. I mean, the top esports were very close to BLG. Folks, they had an insanely close finals. It was like one team fight off. Like, top esports, I'm not going to directly fall for it. Do I think that... Look, at peak, I think they can be contenders. In fact, actually, peak, I mean, like, if they played regionally, they could actually be bloody finalists. Because they are an LPL team with LCK macro, on the whole. They still get to skirmish like LPL teams, but they play objectives in a much more methodical way. The way when JDG did that, obviously. We have 18 minutes, so I have to speed up, folks. I'm going to have to speed up. Anyone's Legend, sadly, folks, I actually think they're in Dark Horses. And the reason for this is Tarzan is on wonderful form. Flandre hasn't been playing that well. Shanks hasn't been playing that well. Hope has, but I think his champion pool can sometimes be a little smaller than the other top tier AD carries. So, for instance, I don't love him on something like Xayah, which is a problem. His Kai'Sa is awesome. I think that their drafts are not looking great. I think that macro around late game objectives has started to worry me. I have to put them in Dark Horses. I have to put them in Dark Horses. They are not good enough right now to be in contenders. Not right now. Ever since MSI in that game 5 that they lost against T1, their drafts have just not really recovered. I think they have to be here. This might seem really, really harsh, but if you've been watching Anyone's Legend across like the back end of summer and then into playoffs, yes, they were third place in LPL, but they were quite a way behind top esports, I think. And I think that Tarzan is really good. I don't think Kyle's on necessarily peak form either. I think I have to put them Dark Horses. They're not going to win through laning power, not really. They weren't, and I'm not sure they're on form enough to win through their strategy. Did BLG level up a lot since MSI? BLG or BLG? They kind of have. I think that the jungle rotation has reset the vibes. What BLG do is that they change their junglers to reset their vibes, and it means that they don't just tilt out of existence, which helps. Although individually, I think their jungle role is still quite weak compared to World's competition. Okay, who else have we got from LPL? We need to move on pretty quickly now. We have IG. Oh my god, they're also here. I think IG are legitimately here. I think I'm gonna just I'm gonna rename this to Flippers. These two, the IG are such a flippy team. They are such a flippy team. They could be, if they sort out their early game. No, they genuinely, this is the thing. If you watched regular season, they are actually contenders. And it really is weird. It is really weird. IG can actually contend. Their early game is really bad. It's really, really bad. And it has been for points. But if they sort the early game, this team is genuinely very, very good. They are actually incredibly good team fighters. I think that the Shy has genuinely been like a top laner within LPL, and I'm not just casual pilled. The Shy is genuinely a good top laner. I can't believe like I'm saying this, given how he had like so many like times he's failed at different points. I think Rookie lost form in playoffs, but was awesome in regular season. Rookie was bad in playoffs, and he's been bad at this point of the year for years at this point. However, the thing which is like crazy is that we haven't seen Rookie internationally in a while. What if Rookie gets an international buff? What if he gets an international buff? He was really, really good at MSI 2019. He was really good at Worlds 2018. Who knows? Maybe Rookie gets an international buff. So I have to put them in Flippers. They are a completely vibes-based team. But occasionally, their macro is absolutely insane. Occasionally, their team fighting is absolutely nuts. The Shy can outlane anyone on a given day. You can also lose lane to almost anything. But they are Flippers, and they may just lose to T1. They might lose to T1. Okay, that's the LPL done. And I do need to keep on moving. Hopefully that, look, genuinely, IG, don't look down on IG. IG genuinely could be not a favorite. They could genuinely contend. They could genuinely contend. They need to make it through T1, and that's the problem. But like, if they sort their early game, who knows what happens? Who knows? Genuinely, who knows? I think Garla's been on great form. I think Garla's been on fantastic form. His Sivir is one of the best in the world. I think his Kai'Sa's one of the best in the world. No surprise there. His Yunara's been fantastic. His Xayah's been fantastic too. It's so harsh that they have to go against T1 because they could genuinely contend. They genuinely could. It's so harsh. Okay, so that's that. Where do we go next? Let's go EU. EU's the one which I know better. I guess I should probably put Flippers below Dark Horses, shouldn't I? Maybe not. Maybe... Okay, whatever. No, I'm going to put this here because it means that they actually have a peak above here, but a trough below it. Okay. Right, let's go to G2. Let's go to G2 and let's go to EU. I actually think G2 are a very methodical team. I actually quite like them right now. I genuinely quite like them. I think that when they get ahead of the game, they are very methodical at finding good fights. I think they play around side lanes well. I think that Skewmond is genuinely great. I think that G2... I think G2's laning power isn't bad. Broken Blade does worry me a bit. As in, like, he's using a lot of Silver Bullet counter picks and not getting the best out of them right now. As in, like, they're fine, but they're not what you would expect out of a Silver Bullet. What does Contenders mean? Contender means that, like, it is reasonable to expect them to have a chance at winning the tournament. Whereas I think finalists are, like, favorites. We'll put Contenders and we'll put favorites then. Oh. What the hell has happened there? Huh? There we go. So contenders are people where it's not unreasonable to say that they would win. Dark Horse is like, okay, you're actually kind of getting there. I think G2 go in... I think they go Dark Horses. I think that they do actually have good styles of gameplay. If they crack the meta, if their early game is solid, I think that particularly with, say, you know, BLG not having great junglers, maybe someone like IG makes it through and their early game's a little bit off. I think that they are contenders. I can't put them... I think Dark Horses. I can't put them in contenders. I just can't. With that in mind, I think... Oh, Dark Horses for the whole tournament? What am I considering Dark Horses? Because I feel like there needs to be something between Dark Horses and Struggle. Because Dark Horses is like, actually, you know, there's an outside shot of them winning. Contenders like, okay, it's not unreasonable to expect them doing well. Or winning. I feel like another neat thing there. And also, by the way, I am getting too lost in this also. You know, I'm just going to keep it like this. Maybe I should put like one between these two, but I'm not going to get lost in there right now. I don't have the time. And I'm going to just quickly jump ahead to a couple of regions. I think... if you're talking about G2, FlyQuest, and CFO, you have to continue. I think they are very similar teams. I think these three teams are on a similar level for different reasons. AL and G2 on the same tier, man, really? Yeah, really. I think AL have dropped off a lot. If you watch them MSI, Anyone's Legend have genuinely dropped off. Flandra's not doing fantastic right now. I think that Shanks has been kind of meh. I think that Kyle is not at peak. He's doing fine, but he's not at peak. So it basically leaves like Tarzan and Hope as the people on form right now. I think their drafts are looking a little shoddy, and I think their macro is a little shoddy too. Yeah, I think Anyone's Legend, I actually have worries about them. I think that these teams could actually be Anyone's Legend, genuinely. Although Tarzan is wonderfully, wonderfully talented. But also we saw MSI, we saw FlyQuest actually... Was it because we saw Inspired versus Tarzan, and actually that was a pretty close matchup. In my opinion, Anyone's Legends is flippers. Their peak form is much better than the others in Dark Horses. I think their floor is higher, though, is the thing. I think their floor is higher. In terms of peak, I actually think Top Esports peak is ahead of Anyone's Legend. I think mechanically speaking, these teams are mechanically much stronger than Anyone's Legend. And yeah, I think G2, FlyQuest, CFO, for me, I view them on quite similar terms. I think that G2, very methodical. I think FlyQuest, very good draft. I think Inspired is perhaps the best player in the West. Bucio has been on incredible form too. I think that Masu has actually been an incredibly stalwart player. Quad, I think, will get diffed by some of the higher level mids, and that keeps them in Dark Horses. Or they can't really be contenders while they have when they have Bwipo and Quad. I think that just they get diffed in too many important games. I think they can carry some games, but they get diffed in too many important ones. CFO, I think that Honkyu is played around very heavily, and I think that a lot of teams... I'd be very interested to see how their mid-jungle does against others in the world, because if Honkyu gets good resources and plays as well through his draft as he did earlier in the year, Honkyu is going to be really fun to watch. Am I doing left to right matters? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Although Flippers is Flippers. I think this one I do. I think Anyone's Legend are above them, but left to right matters. Okay, with that in mind, let's finish off EU. We didn't do the rest of that. And sadly... Do Fnatic squeeze up here? I think Alvaro has been on poor form recently, and he is so crucial to when MKOI succeed. I think Mirwin's been playing well. I think Soup has been decent at points, but Alvaro needs to be on form. Alvaro needs to be on form. I mean, maybe you could shift up Koi here. Maybe. But it'd be by a little bit, I think. And I think Fnatic... Like, we see what happens when Oscar gets a huge lead is playing well, but that's just not a given against so many of these teams. I think that they're too typecast. I think they're typecast... Not typecast. I think they're too predictable into going bot lane. They just always gank bot lane. Struggle seems a bit too high for MKOI. No, I think, look, I think MKOI, I'm giving them some benefit of the doubt because they're clearly better than Fnatic. I think they can punch up here, but not massively. I mean, yeah. There's no way to put Koi higher than Struggle based off of what they showed in playoffs. Sadly not. Not really. Sadly not. Maybe I'll need to adjust bits and pieces. I gotta speedrun this a little bit, folks. Just a little bit. But my worry is Alfaro is off form. I think the laning power of MKOI can struggle a bit in speeds. And bluntly, I just think that these three teams, these four teams rather, have got their shit together more than MKOI. This is a problem with, like, actually, the cohorts at World is actually... These teams have got their shit together a little bit more. MKOI might be able to diff, you know, a flipper team or something like that, right? So let's move on to the... Do we have anything else to do? We have the other LTA teams, right? We have 100 Thieves. I mean... Do I put both of these in Happy to Be Here? I think I have to, right? Vivo Keystars definitely rely a lot on Trimby making big plays and big team fights. I just don't know if their choice of skirmishes will be good enough. And I think a lot of these teams, whether they are skirmish gods or methodical, I think they'll just get a leg over them either in the fight itself or in macro. Not a Poby believer. Poby's good, but the problem is Poby needs to be on something which isn't a playmaker. I don't want to see Poby on playmaker because the Fnatic comms are not set up for that. Not really. Look, FBI is really good on 100 Thieves, but there are some really, really good bot lanes at this tournament, I think. I think that they could actually struggle versus Fnatic. I think that Upset Mickey are a better bot lane than an Ayla FBI on the whole. Ruler Duro who? Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go through the rest of... let's go through the rest of the other teams and we'll finish off with Korea. PSG Talon. Then... It's either here or here. In fact, actually, it might be like here. PSG seems Secret Wolves are happy to be here. So, Mabi, I'm going to trust your opinion on this, because I think that, like, they had a glow up in playoffs through mid-jungle, like, hugely so. But I don't think Aja's been playing that well. I think Aja's a little bit of a liability. PSG could level up, but happy to be here. PSG lucky to be there over Garm. That was my feeling. The question is higher than 100 Thieves or not. So I think they're actually pretty close. I think it... 100 Thieves, their drafts worry me. Actually, you know what? I mean, look, Vivo Keystars beat 100 Thieves. I can't realistically put 100 Thieves above them, can I? PSG absolutely gapped Kana. He did, but then he got destroyed by Mewin. So I can't just bet on Kana having a great series of form. And then I think it has to be like this, right? Okay, we'll just leave it at that. I can't think too much about it. I don't have all of the most in-depth stuff about NA, so I might make some mistakes about this. I'm just going to keep it like this for now, and then we'll finish off with this, because we're pretty close to doing this now. Okay, quite clearly, Genji is a finalist in terms of pre-tournament expectations. I do think that Canyon has been on not great form. Team Secret Worlds beat PSG. Did they? I thought it was. Oh shit! Sorry, my bad. Then I'll put this in region order. My bad. Team Secret Worlds should be in struggle. They're a very all or nothing team. I was talking to Vestian about it. And they're a very struggle. Do I think they're better than Fnatic? Psychotic, best of 1, best of 3 merchants. I think if they go full Psycho, I think they actually lose to Koi. I think Koi are actually very good at fast-paced games. At fast-paced, aggressive games. As long as Alvaro is on form. Maybe I put this... Okay, someone has to sell me on them being in struggle rather than happy to be here. Lose to Koi, beat everyone below. Anyone got any bonus on that? Because as far as I'm aware, this is a very flippy team with a high upper ceiling. My worry is they come into Worlds and they need to settle into a new meta. If they get a head start on it, maybe they can. I think topside kind of gets pushed around a bit, but the thing is though, I don't think Fnatic's topside is fantastic all the time. Yeah, by these teams, for sure. I think these teams have very good topsides, for instance. I think these teams have very good topsides on the whole. And I think that actually MKOI's topside is very strong too, actually, in early game, when they actually start skirmishing the way they need to. New meta benefits them because nobody knows what is good, and Swiss is very random. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm going to take the CFO people in chat's words on this. Because, like, I didn't think they'd be in dark horses. I just don't think they have, like, the laning strength and the team fighting strength to quite, like, beat these teams, even from an advantage. Maybe they can roll in an early advantage and punch up there, but we'll see. Okay. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna do ±1 for this. Do I think they go into struggle? Oh, nah, sure, whatever. I'll keep it as that. Okay. And then we move on to Korea. Hero and 2 rookies, mid jungle are gonna do a ton. Oh yeah, I hear their mid lane is actually pretty good. Yeah. Okay, cool. You know, I'll believe I'll believe you in chat then, folks. Okay, let's go on to the rest of Korea then. Genji clearly finalists. I think that a Canyon collapse is the only thing which could see this team like completely bomb out. I think that Keen has been mega consistent. I think Chovy, well, I don't think it's even been peak Chovy, but Chovy is still Chovying, right? I think that Ruler is perhaps best AD carry in the world right now. I think Duro has really glowed up. I think Duro's been fantastic. That's the easy one. The question is, who is our other finalists from this? Because I actually think T1 are so incredibly close to them, but they also got diffed by HLE. So, I mean, which one of these teams is going in finals, basically? I think that Zek has been on bad form recently, and I think that T1 actually, at Worlds, are looking pretty fucking good. KT must be in flippers. Now, that one's a given. KT must be in flippers. They must be in flippers. That team is just not okay. Maybe BDD has the tournament of his life, and it's just ridiculous. Then the question is T1 in contenders or finalists? Now, I think that Zeka has been in pretty poor form. I think that Zeus has been in whatever form as well. I think that Viper's been very good. I think that Peanut has been up and down. Baker's pool just got cut. How much stock do I put in the T1 5-game series versus Genji. Half the tournament of flippers? Yeah, there's a lot of flippers in this tournament, folks. This is actually a very interesting Worlds. I don't think we have, like, out-and-out crazy differences. I think I put T1 down in contenders just because their rest of that... I mean, they are going to glow up for Worlds. I think that the macro and their objective play is much better than BLG's. And I do think that Owner is exceptionally good. I think Owner has been very, very, very good. I think I have to put it like this, folks. I like T1's objective play. I think that they're very clutch around objective fights in a way that BLG aren't. BLG might be able to skirmish against T1 and play around lane. But I think that Owner is very, very good. Owner is very, very good. And I think the jungle meta is really falling into his hands. I think that HLE's bot lane is on better form right now. Even though Delight is actually a flipper himself. I don't think that Carrier and Goom have been on the best form. They're not on, like, awful form, but they've not been on the best form. And maybe they'll glow up. I think, folks, this is how I have to do it. I think I have to do it like this. I think I'm happy with this, folks. I think I'm happy with this, folks. I think T1 not instantly making it does say something about the state of T1. They need to prove that the world's buff is real again. Yeah. Maybe they can't. Look, at the end of the day, T1 have the world's buff. They can definitely do that. I think this is what I'm happy with. We have a bunch of flippers. I think some people are overrating AL right now. I'm actually quite worried about AL. I think they actually could be felled by quite a lot of big teams. I'm not as learned on NA EU. I think FlyQuest do deserve to be up here. I think it's a bit of a flip between G2 and FlyQuest as to who's better, but I think with Caps on current form, I think I do... There actually is a world where FlyQuest goes over G2, but I think that currently Caps is playing much better than Quad. Although Quad's not been bad, but it's just that Caps has been... Caps is Caps. I can't really rate that against him. CFO do deserve to be in this conversation. They do. Jundra's a very good player. Maybe I should have thought about the order of these. I think CFO are close. CFO are actually a pretty good team. Weibo are underrated. I'm sorry. Where are they? They're an ASI lower bracket. Okay, folks. We're going to... I think this is what I'm going to say. I think this is what I'm going to say, folks. Share on Twitter. Wait, how do I save or download? Do I have a link to this? How do I save this? Okay, cool. I can download that, sure. How do I link this? Blah, blah, blah. Save list to your account. Do I have to create an account to share this? I think this is the play, folks. I think this is the play. Okay, I think we're ready to go do our arena stream now. Is it live, Sam?
It should be. Let me
do you want to check the thing? The screenshot it? I can do that. That's true. Screenshot's probably better, I just think about it. I can do stream stop. Yeah, this is it. Feel free to call me out on different pieces. I think this is probably the list, folks. This is the list. In fact, actually, with that in mind, I can here it is. You can get your own copy of it. There you go. Can't see CFO not getting out of Swiss. Yeah, for sure. KT are too high. No, flippers are flippers, folks. Flippers are flippers. Do I call it super flipper? I mean, KT could just be ridiculously funny. I mean, they could just be ridiculously funny. This is the way that I have to do it, folks. I think. Okay, let's see if the stream's live yet, and we'll go do some arena casting. Where is Discord? I'll post this on Twitter after. Wait, did I really need to give it that much empty space on the side? I don't know if I did. That was a bad screenshot.
Okay, it started and apparently it's ended. It's a past arena broadcast.
Huh?
3 minutes ago. What did you forgot to put?
Huh?
The stream's ended. It was a 2-minute stream.
Okay. Good start.
I did, Alex.
Yes.
Ask people for some trash talk, and Watley has gotten back to me.
Right.
But it's about his duo.
All right.
So we'll have to wait for
Good
the
start.
There
we go. Much better. I'll copy the image address. Oh, god damn it. No, don't let me... Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, whatever. I'll do that later. Okay, folks. We're going to go see if that stream is live now. And we will wait until that's in there. Have a look. Join the casters channel. Sam, do you need to mute on that, by the way? That channel?
Have.
Cool. Cool. Alrighty. We'll get ready for that whenever. I hope that's an okay tier list. Right, I guess we'll wait around until that's ready then, right? KT above AL? Well, no, it's more like... Maybe this is doing it justice. Maybe this isn't doing it justice with, like... maybe, like... Maybe I do a special one for KT. Is this super flippers? Is that more correct, do you think? Do you think this is more correct? Yeah, this is maybe more correct, actually. I think this might be more correct, folks. Yeah, I think this is the one. I think this is the one, folks. I think this is it. I can't in good conscience put KT like above these groups. I think this is it. I think this is it. I think that actually maybe I should have done it like this, maybe. Maybe this is better, actually. Oh god, I keep editing it. Maybe this is it. I think this is better, folks, because I didn't actually feel good putting HLA in finals over them, because they're too close. I think this is it. Oh goddamn, I've done so many different screenshots now. Ah, I'm annoyed at myself. This is... I'm flooding you with these. Okay, I think this is now good. I think this is now good. Okay, fine. We'll do it like this. Fine, cool. I think this is probably about as close as I can get it. Although the problem is, I just... Like, these three can actually... These are very close, these three. All these three could be in any order you want. I think I have to put the super flippers there, right? I think I have to. Wait, is Dum's gonna make each of the mains duos play their duo? Play their main? So, like, Dragdar will have to have his teammate play Ezreal, and he'll have to play... Yeah, that'd be very funny.
Yeah, this is...
Okay, I think that's a good tier list. I think that's a good tier list. Last time Genji were taken to 5 by FlyQuest, they were. I think that, you know, the meta's changed a lot since then. And I think it was quite clearly at the end of it, like, Genji decked them in Game 5. I also think that Quad and Bwipo are not, like, on fantastic form right now. Bwipo's been running it down a lot this year. Like, every so often, Bwipo with solo lose them again. This is a world tier list. Yes, this is a world tier list. Yep. And also, by the way, keep your eyes open on Sheep Esports. I have contributed to the top 20 players list on Sheep Esports. I did have to and ah a lot about it. It was actually a very hard top 20 to make. It's I think it's the hardest top 20 I've ever made. Okay, so Waltz, no, this is the where are you, because it was on the tier list, but like... Wait, why am I even including them on the picture? I shouldn't include them on the picture. That's mean. I shouldn't include them on the picture. I just wanted to include them on, like... I just wanted to use all of the stickers, right? Whipper was so losing last year as well. Okay, my god, there's so many different tier lists. Oh god, there we go. There you go. There's your link. I think this is it. I think this is it. LPL Doom tier list? No, I mean, BLG are in contenders, and like the flippers for top esports and IG can be up there. They can just also like go wild. Yeah, another series. I've done like 6 screenshots. I'm sorry, I'm just like a criminal screenshotter.
Dums is on, by the way.
Did you add Bjergs into the top 20? No, I didn't. Is he on? Okay, all right, folks. We're gonna go right over to Dums. So join us over there, and we'll get on with whatever the hell we're doing.